Happiness is a difficult thing to measure, but one initiative at the United Nations has been trying to figure it out. Every year, the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network publishes its World Happiness Report, a study that examines the connections between happiness and development, all while encouraging policymakers to place more of an emphasis on the former. The reason that people get happier in the fact of disasters. People are pleasantly surprised by the willingness of their neighbors and their institutions to work in harness to help each other. This delivers a heightened sense of belonging, and pride in what they have been able to achieve by way of mitigation. These gains are sometimes great enough to compensate for the material losses. The World Happiness Report 2020 was released recently, and the results are, not surprising, every Nordic country made the cut, but we still recommend checking out the top 10 list below. Number 10. Luxembourg. This land of castles, lakes and rolling hills occupied the 20th position in the happiness ranking. After years of moving up in the ranks, Luxembourg finally made it into the top 10. This small nation of about 600,000 people in the heart of Europe bears the distinction of being the only Grand Duchy in the world and is home to the restaurant with the largest wine list anywhere, 2,200 different wines. The tiny European country is brimming with joy according to the report, which isn't exactly surprising considering it's known for rich cultural experiences. The country is home to 130 stunning castles. Plus, picturesque natural beauty, the verdant Mullerthal region with forest trails and mini waterfalls, and of course, a thriving local wine scene. Happiness score of Luxembourg is 7.09. Number 9. Austria. Rising one spot from last year, Austria takes the place occupied last year by Australia, which slipped out of the top 10 happiest countries for the first time since the UN began tracking the happiest countries in 2012. With low unemployment and inequality rates and high income per capita and life expectancy, this small heaven of just 8.7 million people is an ideal place to live. Austrians' excellent quality of life goes hand in hand with their strong sense of community and civic duty. They have a high electoral participation rate of 75%, and they believe that actively protecting the environment equals protecting their sense of happiness. European nation of Austria, famed for world-class architecture, dreamy landscapes with rolling hills and pristine lakes, and pretzels. Delicious, warm, fluffy pretzels. From skiing to classical opera in Vienna, there's so much to do and see in this magical land. It's no wonder the Austrians are smiling from ear to ear. Happiness score of Austria 7.246. Number 8. New Zealand. With a sprawling coastline of pristine beaches, jaw-dropping mountain peaks and the world's favorite political leader, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, we're not shocked to see New Zealand placed so high on this list. The diverse landscape, a strong sense of community and the fact that the government actually released a well-being budget in 2019 all contribute to the happiness of New Zealanders. We've never wanted to visit the land of the Kiwis more. Happiness score of New Zealand is 7.307. Number 7. Sweden. Sweden holds on to the 7th position in the ranking after climbing 2 spots in 2018. Sweden has consistently ranked high in the list thanks to its affluence, strong social support networks and perceived honesty and accountability of its institutions. The Scandinavian country also boasts an enviable work-life balance. It offers the longest paid vacation period compared to any other country in the world, 25 days, while new parents can take up 480 days during which they receive 80% of their salary. Sweden combines incredible natural sights like glaciers and deep blue archipelagos with a cosmopolitan capital in Stockholm, providing the best of both worlds on the report's happiness index. The Swedes also have one of the best welfare systems in the world, receiving benefits such as subsidized prenatal care, 480 days of paid leave when a child is born or adopted and plenty of other healthcare benefits. Happiness score in Sweden 7.343. Number 6. Netherlands. Despite slipping one spot lower in this year's ranking, people in the Netherlands still have few reasons to complain. The Dutch are more affluent, educated and freer to make their own life choices than at any point in their country's history. They are so content with their way of living that they eradicated teenage angst. According to a research by the National Statistics Office (CBS), 94% of youngsters between the age of 12 and 18 claim to be very happy with their lives. Canal-lined cities, fields of tulips and Kinderdijk windmills are just some of the things that spring to mind when picturing the Netherlands. Famed for its cultural capital, Amsterdam, this nation is a huge draw for lovers of art and history, but don't sleep on the rolling hills or stunning national parks. With so much to explore in the Netherlands, it's an obvious candidate for the top 10 happiest countries on Earth. Happiness score in Netherlands 7.488. Number 5. Norway. Norway enjoys generous unemployment benefits and pensions in addition to excellent free healthcare and education. Norwegians think that democracy should enforce equality. The result is less income and gender disparity and more job satisfaction and trust in elected officials. Norway came in close behind some of its other Nordic counterparts in 2020. There's so much to love about this European country, but what often strikes us most is its diverse landscape. A drive through Norway is a constant surprise, with rugged landscapes and sophisticated cities aplenty. Like the rest of the nations on this list, Norway is also known for a stellar standard of living, including an impeccable welfare system and a sense of contentment. Happiness score in Norway 7.554. Number 4. Iceland. Iceland routinely tops a wide variety of quality of life rankings. Chosen by both the World Economic Forum as the best country in the world for gender equality and the Institute for Economics and Peace as the most peaceful country for more than 10 years in a row, it is one of the most environmentally friendly too. Iceland also has the highest per capita publication of books. Another overachiever, Iceland has appeared on the list of happiest countries before. The island, which sits in the North Atlantic Sea off Europe, has seen a boom in tourism in recent years, with many nature-loving travelers flocking to the green hills and dramatic sights. Not to mention, it's one of the best places to see the natural magic of the aurora borealis, or the northern lights. Happiness score in Iceland 7.494. Number 3. Switzerland. While the study points out that people's happiness levels tend to be closer to one another in the top-ranking countries compared to other nations in the list, this nation of just 8.4 million still managed to pull off a remarkable increase in its excellent scores. Jumping to third place in the ranking, Switzerland can boast postcard landscapes and clean air, state-of-the-art infrastructure and education services, a favorable tax regime and a booming economy. A healthy diet and physical fitness are also emphasized. Switzerland boasts one of the lowest obesity rates in Europe at around 8%. Making chocolate and cheese and not war helps too. Switzerland was named the happiest country in the world. Dropping somewhat behind, the Scandinavian country is still one of the most joyous places on earth. Switzerland is famous for its natural beauty with the Swiss Alps, Lake Geneva, the Eiger and the Matterhorn. Considering the report's suggestion that there's a direct link between green spaces and happiness, it makes a lot of sense to see this beautiful nation at number 3. Plus, it's the home of chocolate. Happiness score of Switzerland is 7.48. Number 2. Denmark. Denmark remained in the number 2 spot this year. The country rates near the top in all the metrics the data geeks at the UN poured over for the report: life expectancy, social support, and generosity among them, but it is also a country hugely committed to renewable energy production. 39.1% of its energy was wind generated in 2014. Home to the world's most bike-friendly city and a coastline that you could spend a lifetime exploring, the country's happiness certainly comes in part from a respect for the planet it's built on. Denmark won the top spot in 2012, 2013 and 2016. But they're clearly still maintaining the happiness of their people. The Danish are known for their laid-back attitude to life, while their capital city Copenhagen is routinely listed as one of the most livable cities in the world. From the iconic amusement park Tivoli to the beautiful coastline, there's no shortage of ways to keep yourself occupied in Denmark. Happiness score of Denmark 7.6. Number 1. Finland. Finland is number 1 when it comes to happiness. The country consistently ranks among the top education systems in the world, occasionally beaten out by countries like South Korea, Japan, and Singapore. Much of that educational success comes from a widespread reverence for teachers, who are required to have a master's degree, state-funded, and a pedagogical system that focuses less on quantitative testing and more on experiential learning and equal opportunity. We've long loved this land of excitement and wild beauty. Whether it's skiing or snowboarding at resorts like Levi, Ruka and Saariselkä, trekking in the Rajaesatunturi National Park, or trying local cuisine in Helsinki, there are so many different sights to interest all travelers. Happiness score in Finland 7.769. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel for more interesting videos.